One of the questions that Jesus was asked over and over again when he walked this earth was, Jesus, why do you keep hanging out with jacked up people? People that just do things that we all know they shouldn't do. And we find in Luke chapter 15, it's no different. There's this group of religious leaders, and they are in this audience of, well, pretty much church folk and non-church folk. And they're like, hey, Jesus, we got a question. Why do you keep hanging out with them? Now, Jesus answers this question via this great storyteller that he is with 3 parables. The first parable is about a shepherd, and this shepherd, he has this flock of 100 sheep, and one of them, he notices, goes missing. Now, the shepherd, he's freaking out. He can't believe it, and the Bible says that he leaves the 99 and he goes out searching everywhere he can for that one. And just as, well, he figured all hope is lost, he sees in the distance, he sees that one sheep. He goes over, he picks it up. The Bible says with exuberant joy, he throws that sheep on his shoulder and he, with excitement, walks back into town. And the Bible says that he's so excited, he starts going around to all his shepherd friends and he throws a shepherd party. Now, you know, just like I know, is that there ain't no party like a shepherd's party, because a shepherd's party don't stop. I mean, we've all been there, right? And he throws a party like no other. The second story that he tells is about this woman, and she has 10 coins. Now, she loves these coins. They're very important to her. Silver coins, to be exact. And one day she was counting them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's one missing. She, just like the shepherd, she freaks out. She is going through her house. She's flipping over the mattress, looking under the cushions of her couch, pulling all her pots out of the cabinets, trying to find this coin. Just as she has exhausted all avenues and all hope is lost, she sits down and she's thinking, I'll never find it. It's gone. Then, with her peripheral vision, in the corner of her eye, she sees something shining. What could it be? Yes, indeed it was. And she goes over, she picks up the coin, and there it is. She gets so excited, she runs out the front door. She goes to all her neighbors, everybody in the cul-de-sac. She says, hey, we are going to party it up because my coin was missing, and now I've found it. And get this, she spends more money on that block party than that coin was worth. Why? Because she's so excited that she has found her lost coin. The third story that Jesus tells is about this rich dude. He has 2 sons, and the youngest son starts thinking, I got this thing figured out. I'm going to go to Dad, and I'm going to ask him for my inheritance now. And that's what he did. He goes to his dad. He says, hey, Pops, how about giving me what I'm due now? How about giving me my inheritance now? The dad agrees to it. He gives him his money. This kid, he goes, packs his bags, and he heads off to the big city. When he gets there, he starts seeing things that he's never seen before, and he starts blowing his money like crazy. And as he's spending money, well, he has plenty of friends. But what happens a lot of times, you run out of money, you run out of friends, and at the end of this, he has no money, he has no friends, he has nowhere to go. And timing could not be worse, because now there is a famine in the land and nobody can find a job. This kid is putting in applications everywhere he can, and he finds this farmer out in the boondocks that says, yeah, you can come work for me. You can feed the pigs. So now this kid, who used to have pretty much everything, has nothing, and he is taking care of these pigs, and he is starving. So the Bible says that it comes to this point where his stomach starts growling, and he's like, I am so hungry, I could eat anything. He looks down and he sees this pig slop, and he goes down, he reaches down to grab this, gets a handful of this pig slop, and just as he starts to bring it to his lips, he gets some common sense, and he thinks, wait a minute. Those cats that are working for my dad have it better than I do. And he thinks, I'm no longer worthy to be a son, but if I go to my dad and I beg him just to take me on as a worker, maybe he'll let me do that. He throws the pig slop down, he gets up to his feet, and he writes this speech where he goes back to his dad and he begs for a job. Now the Bible says that as this kid starts walking up this driveway, his dad is sitting on the front porch. His dad sees him. He notices his son coming from a distance. He gets up to his feet and he starts to do something that's very uncommon for a man of his stature to do. He takes off running. And he runs after his son. He grabs a hold of him, wraps his arms around him, starts to kiss him and says, "Man, my boy is home, my boy is home." The son starts to get out, starts to tell his pathetic speech that he has written to his dad. His dad don't want to hear it. He cuts him off totally and says, "You need new clothes. You need some new shoes." He calls to one of his workers. He says, "Grab my robe, get my boy a new pair of Jordans, get him a new Apple Watch, get him a new ring, and then kill the fatted calf because we are about to party it up." Did you pick up on the difference between these three stories? The first story, we got a lamb who is lost, and we got a shepherd who goes out searching for this wayward lamb. The second story, there's a missing coin. The owner of the coin is searching everywhere, exhausting all resources to try to find this coin. But here in the third story, my question for you is, who is looking for the lost son? Yeah, you guessed it right. Nobody. Not dad, he's sitting on the porch. Not big brother. Where do we find big brother? Well, he's out in the field just working like, well, his younger brother has never left. He's just going on doing the same thing. All of a sudden, he hears music and dancing. He grabs one of his dad's workers that's walking by and he says, "Hey, what's going on up at the house?" The worker's like, "Oh, you didn't know? Your little brother is back. He's returned. He was lost. Now he's found. Your dad is so happy and we are celebrating. You need to get over there. You need to go put your arms around your little brother, give him a hug, tell him how glad you are." But here's the thing. He wasn't happy. He was mad. He was upset. Why? Because, well, this kid has just ruined his family name. He's just blown all of his dad's hard-earned money. And we're celebrating him like he's some war hero, like he's some athlete that just won a gold medal. Like, what are we doing here? And I want to draw your attention to Jesus' audience at that time. It was the church and unchurched people. And what I believe Jesus is wanting them to notice is there are some of you who have failed to go out searching for your lost brothers and sisters. Because I believe at this time, they're probably thinking, all right, the older brother, finally there's somebody who is making some kind of sense. Because we don't understand why you would celebrate somebody that did the things that this younger brother did. And Jesus is letting them know, Jesus is telling them that you should be out searching for those that are lost. You should be out searching for those that are hurting. So what's the point of this story? Is it that we're just supposed to celebrate people who, well, do it the wrong way? People who mess up? Do we just celebrate them for their mess ups? I don't think so. I think when you read this story, we all are left with the same kind of feeling that probably those that were in the audience at that time were feeling. And when we read this, we are left looking for and desiring that brother who will continuously look for us. We are looking for and we are thirsting for that big brother who won't give up on us, that big brother that will love us unconditionally. And in Romans, Paul, he refers to Jesus as being our bigger brother. And I believe what Jesus is saying here is, I will be that bigger brother that will constantly, continuously look for you. no matter how many times you mess up, no matter how many times you fall, no matter how many times you slander the family's name, I will constantly and continually be searching for you. So if you're watching this right now and you're thinking, man, I have blown it, I have messed up, there is no way Jesus still loves me, there is no way Jesus could still find a way to include me in his family, I am telling you that you are wrong, because he is constantly and continually searching for you. And if you have given up on him, here's the good news: he has not given up on you. And now if you're watching this and you're thinking, well, I have felt that love that you're talking about, I have felt that embrace of Big Brother, here's my question for you, is will you join the search party looking for your lost brothers and sisters, and so that they can feel that love that you have experienced?